You guys wanted a full review, you asked for this, okay? If you watched my last video on Godfall, I think you already know what I'm gonna say about this game. And judging by people's reaction to my last video, I feel like a lot of people wanted Godfall to be good. I wish I had better news for you guys, but god damn, this game is a hot, steaming pile of dog shit, just like I thought it would be. Now before some of you start crying in the comments, let's talk about why. Because the game does do some things right, and there are definitely moments where Godfall actually works. Let's talk about one aspect that Godfall absolutely had to deliver on for it to even be worthy of a review, which is the combat. I'm gonna be honest here and say that I was pleasantly surprised. From the gameplay I saw originally, I thought there wouldn't be anything praiseworthy. But the gameplay feels impactful, you do have to time your dodges, and depending on what difficulty you play on, it can be challenging. Play on normal though, and it's really little to no challenge at all, you're just sitting there bored. Mainly due to the fact that you can just endlessly respawn and brute force your way through fights. Playing on hard gives you a finite amount of respawns, 3 to be exact, so you have to be more careful and actually learn enemy movesets in order to be able to complete the mission successfully. However, there's also this bug where you only get 2 respawns instead of 3. You know what, I'm just gonna let that slide. One of my main concerns before I played Godfall was that the mobs would just be combo fodder. I was wrong about this, kind of. Sometimes the enemy does just stand there and wait to be attacked, but on hard mode at least, they do actively try to damage you. So if you want to experience the game's combat to the fullest, definitely play on hard mode, is what I would say if the game wasn't so atrociously buggy. And here's where the problems begin, guys. Wow, the bugs in this game drag the combat down so hard that it made me not even want to sing its praises at first. How do you make a combat system that's actually somewhat decent, but have it be dragged down by bugs so hard that I was confused as to whether I even liked the combat? For instance, there's a bug that leaves you unable to perform any attacks. Do you understand how ridiculous of a bug that is in an action combat game? This is 110% a glitch. Wow. Okay, well I'm about to die because I can't attack. Oh god. Oh god. This bug got me killed multiple times. Not because I failed a parry, not because I failed a dodge, not because the game killed me fair and square. I just literally could not attack. The only way to fix this bug is to go into your inventory and switch weapons, but combat is constantly happening, and you can't actually move while your inventory is open, so, you know, that's great. Just gonna sit here and get killed because of this stupid bug. And even when you are able to change your weapon and all of a sudden can attack again, sometimes the game just decides, yeah, I think we should just crash on him. He's not having a bad enough time already. $70 game, by the way. Do keep in mind that I played the game on PC, so I don't know how things are for you guys on PS5, just as a side note. The bugs could be better, they could be worse. Somebody who's played on PS5, let me know. I can't even order one online, for Christ's sake. The bugs aren't the only problem here though. The combat itself can also be super clunky. The targeting system is complete diarrhea. Why can't you actively switch between targets after locking onto an enemy? You're gonna copy the Dark Souls lock-on system, but not even bother to include the feature to switch which enemy you're locked onto on the fly? What kind of $70 game is this? Because it needs to be thrown in the trash. Certain skills can be unlocked to make the combat more engaging. But why are some of the most basic functions locked behind a skill tree? You're gonna put the dodge slide behind a skill point? Are you kidding me? So you have to play through the prologue with this little shitty sidestep that does absolutely nothing for you. I think that was a really stupid design decision on their part. The same goes for the parries. Parries feel good to pull off, but there isn't much of a point to doing it until you get some skills that actually allow you to punish your enemies appropriately after executing a parry. In God of War, parrying was an important aspect of the combat because you could pull off executions immediately right off the bat after a parry, or slam your shield into them after a parry to send them flying and give yourself some breathing room. Parrying in this game gives you no options, up until you unlock a few skills with some points, and even then, your options are still limited. Parrying also feels way too easy to pull off, with the window allowed for a parry being extremely generous, especially when you get the skills to increase the parry window by 20%. Also, if an attack is powerful enough, you'll be sent flying even if you've successfully parried an attack. Look at this! Doesn't it look like I'm getting guard broken? Nope, that's a parry. That is such a bad mechanic to put within a parry-based system. If anything, it's better to just dodge the attack, that way you'll have more time to retaliate. The weapon types. Okay, this was a mixed bag. On the plus side, each weapon feels very different from one another. The pole arms allow you to attack at a distance, long swords feel like a good middle ground between dual swords and a greatsword, and really, all the weapons feel pretty good to use. The problem comes when you realize that fast attacking weapons are much better to use than any of the slow attacking ones. The reason that fast attacking weapons are better is because there's no cancel animations for any of the weapon attacks. Oh my Godfall, this game is garbage. The greatsword, for example, okay? I would get hit way more often whenever I used the greatsword. Why? The greatsword attack animations are so long. You're stuck in place and can't dodge for much longer than you would be if you're doing a longsword attack animation. So with the longsword or dual blades, you're able to get in and out quickly, while with the greatsword, you're still swinging while they're trying to attack you, and boom, you get hit because you can't move. This discouraged me from using the greatsword on higher difficulties, because I felt that the longsword allowed me to perform much better during combat. Even if you make the argument that this was a design decision, what a stupid decision it was for them to not allow you to dodge during an attack. The game is way too fast-paced to not allow for animation canceling, so if you're using slower weapons, GG, you're getting hit way more often. Did I mention this game is worth $70? Did you know that this game crashed on me against a really tough boss, and the boss literally had a pixel of health left before I was about to beat them? Roll the clip.
Oh my god, I'm so close. Just a couple more hits. I can only die one more time. Oh, I got her. Oh, no way. Come on. Are you kidding me? How's she not dead yet? No!
I had to do the entire fight over again. I was playing on hard, and I wanted to punch a hole straight through the very middle of my monitor. Monitor fall, that's what this game should be called. It's a shame, because when the boss fights actually work in this game, they can be pretty fun. But when this happens...
Oh, is he gonna do something? Is he gonna... Oh, I think I woke him up. Oh. Never mind.
Or this? My god, even when the boss fights do work and no game-breaking bug is happening to ruin it, there are still flaws. In the second boss fight of the game, the boss has a skill that surrounds themselves in fire. You have a whopping of 2 ranged moves in this game. 2! How, may I ask, are you supposed to damage a boss standing in fire with virtually no ranged skills? Come on guys, I'm waiting. Answer me. Somebody answer me, because this game sure isn't. Now I know some of you are thinking, just wait until they come out of it, you big baby. And that's what I would do. But after it happens for the 10th time, I'm ready to just sacrifice the health just to get the fight over with quicker. Maybe I'm just impatient, but I found that incredibly annoying during combat. Let's talk about the status effects. None of them are any different from one another. All of them slowly tick away at your health, and that's literally it. It's like Counterplay was sitting in their meeting room going, So what do we do if they're on fire? Just tick away at their health. Come on, that's easy. Okay, well, what if they get frozen? Dude, what are you trying? Just tick away at their health again. What are you, stupid? Isn't that the same thing though? Shouldn't they get frozen in place instead? Like, I don't know, shouldn't status effects do different things? No, that's too much effort. What are you trying to actually make a good game? Literally a confirmed conversation between one of the devs and some corporate guy there, imagine. Here's the worst part though. I could maybe look past the status effects all doing the same thing if the Valor plates didn't have the exact same problem as the status effects. The Valor plate aspect was one of the biggest draws of the game, I think, for a lot of people. And you're going to make them skins? What? How more people aren't absolutely blown away by this is beyond me. The Valor plates don't offer anything different other than changing your character's voice into sounding more female depending on the Valor plate chosen, and it also changes your appearance. There are also a few other very minuscule differences between them, like the Archon Fury skill cycling between one of two skills, either it being a Shockwave-esque skill or you can summon Sentinels, but you couldn't have come up with a unique skill for each Valor plate? Are you kidding me? Nah, they're just gonna come up with 2 skills and then copy-paste them between 12 different Valor plates. There are also augment constellations that are different between each Valor plate, but seriously, that's the most that they could do to make these things unique. Can you say lazy? It gets worse. The Valor plates are also extremely easy to craft. Half the time I'd go to check, and I would have the materials I needed. Do I know where I got them? Nope, I just had them. The materials really aren't that difficult to obtain by just playing the game randomly, which I think is incredibly stupid. I should have to put in effort and go out of my way to obtain Valor plates that I want, not just randomly check and be able to craft several of them. The story, oh my good Godfall in heaven, the story. It's terrible, but did we really expect otherwise? A lot of counters to the story being bad in this game that I've seen are, it's a looter slasher, it's not supposed to have a good story. Guys, just because it's not supposed to, doesn't mean it shouldn't. Can one loot-based game at least try to have an engaging story? Just try. That's all I'm asking for, a little effort. Fighting games aren't supposed to have a good story, but look at Injustice 2 and how successful that game is, partly because of it. I'm so sick of these generic-ass games that don't ever try to do anything inventive or different. And if going through the storyline wasn't hard enough, they actually introduced padding to try and make it so that you don't steamroll your way to endgame and make you think that this game is worth the money you paid for. Certain story quests are locked behind tokens that you have to earn by completing other side missions. What do you do in these missions? Well, I'll tell you. Fight bosses you've already fought once before, maybe break some totems after fighting some waves of enemies, and here you go kid, have a couple of tokens so you can actually finish this shit-ass game. The fact that you have to farm tokens by doing these boring-ass missions that should be classified as side content is asinine. Not to mention, the environments that you'll be spending your time doing this copy-paste type of garbage in are so generic and dull to look at. Don't get me wrong, the graphics are incredible, and the particle effects can be very nice to look at. But outside of the graphics, the areas are very narrow pathways that don't lead to anywhere in particular. Exploration results in just running toward a marker as you watch the number go down. There's no real point in exploring other areas, especially when the main draw for exploration is for materials that help you craft Valor plates that have no functionality anyways. There's also no minimap, so you never actually know where you're going. If you weren't lost by how similar everything looks to one another, the devs really screwed us over by not bothering to code a godforsaken minimap. Also, what's with not being able to randomly matchmake with people? You have to invite friends manually into your game? Who has friends nowadays? Seriously though, why wasn't a public matchmaking option included? I can't think of a reason other than pure laziness. They knew Godfall needed it. We know it needs it. Why didn't they put matchmaking in the game? Like, no joke, nobody buy this game. Please don't support these guys unless they actually put effort into improving what's already there. Stay far away from this game. More than 6 feet, more than 10 feet. Good God, don't go anywhere near this. I understand that the point of this game isn't for its story or characters, but rather min-maxing your stats and having different builds, but you have to understand, when the game has as many problems as it does, it makes it hard to enjoy any of that stuff. If you're on the fence about Godfall, definitely wait. If the game was improved upon, I could see it getting much better, but when you don't even include public matchmaking in your game, I don't see them supporting this at all. I know this review ended up being more of a rant and me just shitting on this game's existence, but trust me, it's well deserved. Here, I got a couple more things to get out of my system. Screw it. The voice acting's ass, the characters are so poorly made and you don't care about any of them, even though the game really tries to make you feel sad that one of them may or may not die, when I'm just sitting here like, please just die already. And yeah, I paid $60 for this. God, I really can't believe it. At least I didn't pay $70. Christ's sake. There are promising things about Godfall, but it's not anywhere near a $70 price point. It's nowhere near a $60 price point. Hell, I would be hard pressed to recommend Godfall if it was free to play. If I had to put a number on it, I'd give this game a 1 out of 5. Shit game. Now go play something that's more worth your time, like Bubsy 3D. Anyway, guys, rant over. What did you all think of Godfall? Let me know down in the comments below. Are you gonna get it? If you've played it, do you have a different opinion than me? I'd love to hear what you guys think, and like and subscribe. Dislike, I don't even care anymore.